Well,
Here we are.
this is pretty mad. I'm trying to look around the map and figure out what's going on. By the way, I don't know if you were aware, but the overlay, if you're using that, has been updated as well. So there's a couple extra features I've been trying to get used to on Boobly. So
Oh, actually, it's gone. I don't have the overlay right now.
gotcha.
Maybe I just forgot to. Hold on. I'm gonna come out the game
Yeah,
and
and join again.
rejoin. Don't worry on my stream, by the way. I've not fixed the overlay. Give me a sec.
It's passes 1, 2, 3 in case you forgot, but I'll talk in the meantime. This is King of the Hill on Mad Random, which is a map pack that I've never seen before. And it looks pretty mad to me. All of the islands are connected by marshes, and the monument is in the middle. Marsh does connect to that monument on the one side, but other than that, we might just see a lot of water control here. Canadian Ninja says, spent 10 seconds trying to make a house before I realized I was Hans. Well done, well done. If you end up getting in here with the overlay, I'll
Yep,
kind of
I'm
talk
back
a
in.
little bit about it for the viewers as well. You can add, well, first of all, before the players' colors weren't carried over to the population, the ville, and things like that, so the text is in their color. Also, you can see that the flags are a little bit bigger. You can put the age on there, which is what I chose to do. You can see they're starting in the feudal age. And then this helped a lot of 2v2 games because the overlay would get confused in like 2v2v, 2v2s and free-for-alls. So a lot of the work done on the overlay was to prevent any issues with this, with free-for-alls and community games, basically, which is really cool.
PKZ's done a really good job on it, but for some reason, I didn't have an option to use the new one, so I'm still using the old one right now.
Yeah, it probably, at least when I
bugged out
logged
on
into Voobly last time, it updated, so something like that. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, good things to come with that. It looks like with the resources, it's fairly standard. I see 3 boars. I'm looking at Red's base. I see 3
Yeah, same.
boars and
A big
fair
deer
amount of
patch
deer as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so plenty of resources at least.
And plenty of wood, which is something that you should never underestimate in a massive free-for-all.
Yeah.
I've had a few games recently where wood has been quite sparse, and it's ended up being a real problem. But yeah, this looks like a pretty nice map, actually. Obviously, the shallows here making it pretty hard to get to the center. And speaking of the center, if you look where that monument spawned, I think this is basically going to have to be controlled by boats.
Yeah, boats. Unless you're coming from yellow, red, or green
Yeah.
side, they could maybe get the rams there, but you're right. There's going to be a lot of boats. And, well, I'm looking at the civs. Britain's good water civ, a Spanish very good water civ, Turks, Japanese, Huns, Goths. I mean, all these civs are fairly decent on water with the exception of Aztecs in AOC.
Yes. So that kind of leads me to question, what is Juvenile, our Aztec player, going to do here? What's his game plan? I mean, if you were in Orange's position right now, what are you thinking? If you know the map is looking how it is.
200 pop monks, convert every single ship, and you win the game.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only logical solution to this problem of having a terrible navy.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to go fire ships, and to be honest,
yeah.
in King of the Hill, fire ships are a lot stronger because if you're trying to push someone off the monument, they can't run away, and normally you hit and run against fires. So that's one good thing for him, but it'll be rough. But the one thing that interests me is that not everyone has an easy access to the middle via land, so they might fight each other to get there, which will be kind of a side commentary.
Yeah. So like green and red, for example, might want to go through yellow to get to the middle.
Exactly.
As an example. So yeah, I mean, I think in a lot of these King of the Hill games, you end up getting little skirmishes breaking off at the edge of the map anyway. And I'm sure some players are going to piss someone else off, and then you'll have a little bit of a fight. So we'll see how they go in that respect. But I mean, as far as this map goes, starting feudal and having quite a lot of food, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see players reaching castle very quickly here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fish as well. So though I don't see a lot of people docking, they could dock and find some deep fish. I actually just see on the overlay Canadian Ninjas building a dock. Let's see where that's at. I actually don't see it.
Yellow is he building a dock?
Oh, you know
he
what, he
is. He is on
probably
the right
placed it.
side.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's
So,
placed it down. He's only just building it now. There we go.
Unfortunately, he only has one deep fish there, while others will have a little bit more. So that's unfortunate, but still, it's the right idea at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that everyone's going to realize. I mean, if you look at turn the fog of war on and look at, let's say, I think Teal. If you take a look at Trirem, he has no scouting info of the center of the map at the moment, but he can see that the monument is surrounded by water. So everybody should know, in theory, that okay, I've got a dock here, and there has to be some kind of contest for the water in this game. Because if the monument's surrounded by water, it's only logical that you're going to have to get a dock up and start getting some boats out, and we will see the players going down that route fairly soon. But I guess with having so many deer and boar, maybe players don't feel the need to necessarily rush that dock in this case.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're like, okay, we have a ton of food. Don't need to do that. I really hate Trirem's position, personally. I always try and think of it as what I would be thinking if I was a player. And the two marshes he has that connects are on the right, and they go immediately to an enemy. So that's kind of useless for him here. And unfortunately, the one that's on this little peninsula doesn't extend to the middle, where Purple would have the edge of his base. So he would have to go directly through Purple's base, because his TC's right there, or go through Gray's land and all the way around. It's going to be so difficult. Just this maze.
He's also got like a little bit less space, I feel, than everyone else. I think him and maybe Blue, Dark Blue, both the blue players, getting quite smaller areas of land to build on. But as Teal here is playing as the Spanish, he can sort of sit back for a little bit, do quite a big boom, and then get to that sort of late game death ball. It's going to take him a long time before he's ready with techs. And maybe, if he storms through against Purple or Gray, could do a lot of damage on the land. But the question is that really worth it? Surely it's better to just mass up the boats and go towards the center of the map here.
Yeah, it really depends. I want to bring this up because you and I actually played in this game. Do you remember the King of the Hill game in the Clash of the Casters? Okay, so I watched the cast as much as I could. I was supposed to be working, but you know how that goes. And then, obviously, I played the game, and I went into that game with a mindset of, okay, I'm going to kill the strongest player next to me, and then when I go to the middle, I'm not going to be stopped from that side. And in my case, it was Mem, and I think we said, no attack till imp, so I held to that, and I heard him enough where he couldn't stop me from getting to the gold. He couldn't stop me from getting to the middle.
Yeah, that's true.
And Killer B, then, he did have the middle, and I was lucky enough to push him back. But what I'm trying to get at is, at least, Roach did this last time, for example. Yeah. So, if, for example, Red, Snippy, if he were to kill Gray, he would have a lot easier access to the middle. But it's a risk you take, because you could waste all your resources and all your time and not be able to win. But I think it's a risk worth taking in some cases.
I would like to point out, though, that you very, very nearly didn't hold on to the monument in our free-for-all game.
Well,
had it been another 5 minutes, you would have lost everything and had no eco. So,
yeah. I mean, it's very easy for me to.
Anyway, very well.
Yeah, it's very easy for me to sound confident saying that after I already won. So that's the benefit of talking after the fact. But yeah, you're right. I was scared in that game, because I got pushed out of the middle, so I think I was fortunate Killer B wasn't ready for my attack, and it worked out. Everything went right for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank God that Cision attacked you, because I was waiting for your onagers. I was waiting for some onagers.
Cision screwed me so hard, because I was trying to go towards the middle, and then Cision came behind me and killed my push. And then I was out of the middle. Had no way to get back on because Cision was in the way. So then I ended up attacking Cision, and he was attacking me. And we spent so long killing each other that we ended up giving you the middle for free. And that ended up going quite badly for us. So, you're living your land.
Do you know how to move things on
on the overlay.
Overlay, yeah. I'm trying
Yeah,
to move the
Control,
text.
Shift, and S.
Yeah, I'm there.
And then you go to Advanced. And then you click, I think it's like there's an option to click move things on the overlay, and then you drag your mouse to where you want it to go, and it will sort of move in a fixed line.
Oh, okay, I see it. Okay, we got it. Perfect.
Awesome.
I didn't realize it was moving. Thank you.
It's all good. So, I mean, this game right now, I mean, it's always going to be a slower paced start. And that's actually why I think it's a good idea to start Feudal, or even start Castle, actually, because nobody wants to really get on the wrong side of anyone else. No one wants to make too many enemies too early in the game, since they all have a common objective, which is to fight for the center. And no one's in a huge rush to get to the center either, because there's 400 years, and, you know, if you go now, well, you're not going to hold it for that long. So you may as well sit back and boom up. And so I think that's what we're going to see from most of these guys here. But we may start to see some players fighting on the water over the fish. And I think that's probably going to be the first sort of point where players start to sort of rush against each other as they start running low on fish. And then they're like, well, actually, you know what? I want these fish. I'm going to build some boats now and start contesting the water here.
Yeah, you're right about that. I don't see anybody building up an army or some force to attack their opponent. Just taking their time with their economy, understanding that any damage they do now is kind of a waste of time, and you want to wait till around 100 years normally. That's when it's more worth your time. But I like what Orange is doing with the redock. He has a lot of these fishing ships, and he's just placed another dock closer to the edge of the map, and there's another fish there, so it's really smart to relocate a dock just so you can get efficient fishing.
Yeah, he doesn't have that many big fish, unfortunately, but he's got quite a lot of fishing ships out, and he'll hoover them up pretty quickly. So we're starting to see players get to the castle age now. In fact, it's Teal who is the slowest up to castle. Trirem still not quite there just yet, but he's gone up with like 42 population. So he's definitely had a very big feudal age here. And everybody else already up. Canadian Ninja currently has the score lead. And what civ is he? He's the Huns. Don't feel too strongly about the Huns in a free-for-all land map, but since it's water, I mean, they're going to do pretty well. And actually, something about the Huns as well is since they don't need houses, this map's quite closed, if you know what I mean. It's like the trees are very large, like the tree lines are very large. If he had to build a lot of houses, he'd actually be blocking his eco up quite a lot. And so it just helps things stay really neat and tidy, and it's going to make things nice and efficient for him as well.
Yeah, I think I agree with everything you said there. Though there's a lot of wood on these maps, it can make for an inefficient economy. So it's important to be mindful of where you place your houses and things like that.
Yeah.
A quick shout out to Kolinskink and Urban. Thank you so much, guys. Sorry, Zach, go ahead.
No worries. Thanks to those guys. I'm guessing they subbed, right?
Well, they donated $5, so the same out of their pocket anyway.
All right. Well, let's get some T90 babes in the chat, please.
Oh, there we go.
Right. So, Snippy, like, so just to go on about the point about the houses, look at Red's economy right now. Look at all these houses, which are like blocking farms and things, and like, where else is he going to build them? He has to build them somewhere, and it's just they get in the way. They're annoying. They're pesky houses. Oh,
what is the technology in the expansions that allows when your houses are deleted, you don't lose pop? I think it's a Mongols technology.
Yeah, it's
actually.
the Mongols. It's the Mongols.
That's a really cool tech.
Is it Nomads? I think it's called Nomads.
Oh yeah, that's a good guess.
So you build
at least.
up to
I don't
200. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Nomads, and it's for the Mongols. That's pretty nice.
Are you familiar with this blue coffee player, by the way?
No, not particularly. I don't think.
So, funny story about this guy. Obviously, you casted the first Regicide Rumble with me. We did the migration game.
Yeah.
The second Regicide Rumble, this guy... So the rules were, I think for the last game... No. The second game, it was like 1,600 to 1,900 players. This guy only plays free-for-alls. And he had like a high 1,700 rating. And I looked at his account, and it's a lot of like land nomad free-for-alls. And it's a rare breed nowadays that players only play that. And so in that game, he was completely outmatched when it came to skill. Like, you know, these guys, we had Aquino, King Marv, Klavskis, like these guys were insane. But his Diplo and his free-for-all skills were really funny to watch. So it's pretty cool that he's still, you know, playing these games.
So
viewers
is
and
he pretty
stuff.
talented? Has he got a knack for this particular game type?
I don't think King of the Hill is his forte.
Okay.
He knows when to strike, you know, and nobody sees him as a threat. This is how it was in the other game, bottom score. But Regicide is probably a little bit better for him because King of the Hill, you need to continue to mass and have really strong economies and things like
that's
that.
true. Whereas, you know, I guess with Regicide, you can try and get the king snipes and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's not so necessary to just hold it down for so long. Speaking of holding it down, it looks like we've got Teal starting to make the first moves towards a navy here. It looks like he's the first player to really start massing some boats. He's got some fires coming out, and purple as well with the first war galley coming out as well, or the first war galleys. So far, they've actually avoided each other. They're just like sailing by, just, you know, waving from the side of their boats.
Yeah, I had to double check to make sure it wasn't Diplo. I had to look. I was like, wait, hold on.
But I like what Purple's doing with that castle there on the shoreline, making sure to lock down that area and, you know, protect his docks as well from any potential attack that could come in. And obviously that's not too much of a worry if he knows that Teal's making fires, since fires aren't going to be killing the docks if there's a castle there. But for now, it's good to take that precaution and sort of get set up defensively at your dock positions.
Yeah, I think that's crucial. And I think it could be crucial for Canadian Ninja if he's able to get to the middle. Build a castle next to the monument. The same goes with Purple. There's a lot of wood there. I don't know if they can actually place one close by, but getting docks close to the monument, getting castles up to protect your docks, going to be very important for every player in this game.
Yeah. Well, I think that sending some rams towards the center to support your army is actually going to be something that's really valuable this game, and something that, you know, I hope we start seeing the players on the right side. This is kind of an advantage that the players on the right side are going to have. You know, if you're Canadian Ninja, you should probably be thinking about getting siege rams and just parking them on that shallows area next to the monument, and you're just going to soak up so much damage that your own boats are going to be a lot more effective out there. And that's something that the team on the left side, or sort of like top side of the map, can't actually do. So we'll see if that actually comes into play, because I think that's going to be quite pivotal actually.
Yeah, rams are always really important. That's something that people probably wouldn't thought of as much until we started doing all these community games over the past couple years. I know that you were pretty much the only, you and Rez, I guess, were doing community games for a couple of years now, but before that, I wonder if they were to play this setting and not even think of putting rams in the middle. It's such an important thing, especially if you get siege ram.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to soak up so much from that. But I mean, it's something you see in pro games as well.
Yeah.
Sticking the rams on the shoreline just to help distract the arrow fire from the boats. It's really good. Yeah, but I mean, still right now, everyone's content just sitting by. Wondering what Gray is doing, though, because I see he's actually making some archers right now. And I don't know if he's got many docks up, but it would be a big mistake. He actually doesn't have a dock. So it's going to be a big mistake for our Gray player here to just mass up a big land army. That's not really going to work out too well for him, I imagine. What's his scouting looking like? I mean, he knows that the monument is inaccessible, really, by land. But maybe he'll send his archers there and suffer a horrible, horrible death, as they're not going to stand up to many boats, that's for sure.
Something funny to point out here, you see the two ranges with the archers for Gray? He had a villager there, and he obviously built those, and then he wanted to build this blacksmith, which is on the other side of that wood line. And that villager, as you were talking, has walked the entire way around to build the blacksmith. He probably didn't think about it because he's focusing on so much, but this goes to show you what a mess these wood lines can be when you're trying to build things. The villager's not even there yet.
Yeah, sorry, bear with me. It looks like my stream's gone down.
Oh, okay.
It's typical
no
Twitch things.
Yeah.
It's not happened that much recently, actually. I called my ISP and they seemed to do something that fixed it, but it's still having some issues. Oh wow, look at Orange right now. Looks like we're going to see him striking on the land here. And I hear demolition ships as well.
Where do you
Oh,
hear them?
but purple. Purple sending
there
some
we
demos
go.
out. Nicely
That's
done.
a good move. He has a large navy. Teal's in trouble on water. To the left of that castle, Purple has a ton of war galleys.
Oh yeah, he's really massing them up quite well. But I'm worried for him actually. I mean, okay, this is good on the water, but if you look at Orange just to the south of his base, dropping down the 2 workshops there, it looks like Orange is gearing up for a land attack. He's got Rams coming out. He's got Eagle Warriors as well. And he might just steamroll through Purple's economy here because he's completely undefended on this south side. He's only got that 1 castle on the shore at the top.
Yeah, you're right. And this would be a really good thing for Purple as well. Back to what I said earlier, I think pressuring a player, especially if you're in the corner and you don't have easy access to water or good water sieve, pressuring a player in this situation is a smart thing to do. Unfortunately, Purple's been housed for half a century, but I think he will be okay once he gets a castle up. But look at Orange's gold in the back. He has 2 extra piles. And all that farm space. Actually, no, there's 3 extra piles. I'm sorry. 1 is in the wood.
Buried.
But, yeah.
That's really good
Pretty
for him,
good.
especially as the Aztecs. He's actually, no, hold on. He's got more. He's got 4 extra piles. There's one at the north as well.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he's on the 5th. I guess one of those is in the trees, but you're right. He's in a good position as far as gold goes. And he's also getting a relic, which as Aztecs will be very nice for him as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just trying to figure out what's going on with my stream.
No, it's fine. Yeah, don't worry about it. We've all
I've not
been
dropped any frames. Oh, no, it's up now. It's up. Okay, good stuff.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
Well, Garland Wars coming in for Orange. He seems to be one of the most aggressive players right now. He is getting capped ram as well, and oh man, if he busts down that 1 palisade wall for Milte, his Purple, those Elite Eagles will gut Purple's economy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He is just not prepared for this. Okay, he's got quite a big army of war galleys and 3 trade cogs for good measure. But, yeah, he's not prepared for land. Though something's ticked him off. What's his vision looking like? Okay, he's researched Town Watch and he actually sees the Siege Workshop now. And he's going to see this coming in. He is going to stonewall this and just try and block this up. But is he going to be able to do it in time? I'm doubtful, to be honest. I'm doubtful. The Cap Rams are deploying on the walls now. And we'll see if they can get a way through for the Eagle Warriors here.
Yeah, the capped rams are going to be really strong in this situation. Milte is on the way to the Imperial Age. I would send some Janissaries, but there's so many Eagles, and they almost have all the upgrades. The last defense upgrade coming in. Not going to be easy. And Onager researched as well by Orange. Has Onager on the right side of these walls. Not looking good for Milte. He had the right idea with the Navy, but this land attack is going to be perfect for Orange.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be huge. And, you know, even Janissaries aren't as good, I don't think, as hand cannons in this situation anyway, because the Janissaries don't get the bonus damage versus the infantry. So it's just unfortunate that he's not prepared for this at all. He's going to try and rush a castle, but the first Eagle Warriors are through, and they are going to... I think if Orange is paying attention, he can deny this castle here, but it doesn't look like he's trying to micro his units to the castle at this point. Still, I think that castle might have a hard time going up either way.
Yeah, the Vills are 3 hit at this point because the Eagles have 9+8 attack. So 3 hits, the Vill's dead, and yeah, that castle will probably not go up. And even if it did go up, it probably would go down to Rams anyway. Orange, a huge leader in this game, but Milte's not giving up, sending all of his navy to the middle, or maybe back around to
No, he's
help
coming
out.
back around. Yeah, if he can come back around, he could maybe support his defense a little bit with the boats, but I don't think it's going to do much
Oh.
now.
He's
We got to
YOLOing now.
pause.
Yeah, it looks like a pause. He's YOLOing for the castle. That's not going to happen. It's still at 78%.
Oh, no, that's suicide. That is suicide. Oh, it hurts.
Well, someone had to die first, and I think Purple is going to be that guy. And this
It
is
does
good for
seem that
Teal
way.
now. Like, remember Teal? I was saying, okay, this is not very good for Teal. He doesn't have much water control. Well, he's in the Imperial Age. Trireme in that corner will now have no one to threaten him. If, of course, Milte does die, which looks...
Oh, it's like 99% right now that
yeah,
he's gone.
it's inevitable now.
I don't think there's anything he can do. Okay, what actually could he do in this position? He could throw down some archery ranges now he's Imperial and start making some hand cannons, but he's going to quickly run out of food, and he doesn't really have any way to sustain food income. So, unfortunately for him, I mean, he's well and truly done for, dropping to the bottom of the scoreboard now. FML lol. Poor guy. Who'd have thought that would have happened, though? I mean, it's pretty unlucky.
Blue Coffee's like, what? And Canadian Ninja says, what's wrong? Well, Snippy's building towers in the middle. I did not expect guard tower in this game. He's holding the middle with 1 fishing ship and 3 transports at the moment, but he should dock there because sending Navy back from his base is going to be so difficult because Canadian Ninja is camping in that choke point.
Yeah, it's just a really good move from Snippy because he's got no easy access to the middle of the map at all here. So he's just going to transport around. And I mean, I've seen games where guard towers and mass towers in the middle of the map have won the game for that player. But hopefully he gets heated shot and ballistics, and he should be in a much better position with those towers. I doubt that's going to be enough, but let's see. I mean, it might force someone to have to go into cannon galleons, and there's not that much time left. We're talking 130 years left on the clock now as players are massing up navies, and they're not really committed to going towards the center just yet. And if they leave it too long, Snippy might have this on lockdown.
Yeah, I think Snippy should wall around the choke points here as well because, oh man, first of all, Blue Coffee is going heavy demos, which is close by. But Canadian Ninja is almost at the Paladin upgrade, and he has Siege Ram as well. So if Siege Rams make it to the towers, those towers will go down quite fast.
Oh, absolutely. I actually didn't notice that he had the Rams there, but yeah, that's... I mean, the biggest problem for Snippy here is keeping a unit on the center of the map. Because
yeah,
if
true.
that fishing ship dies, I think it immediately goes to Canadian Ninja anyway. But the problem is Canadian Ninja doesn't want to sit in here for ages and just suicide it, you know? Suicide all of his units. So yeah, the tower's going to do damage, but they're not going to lock down the middle of the map. And that is the problem.
Yeah, I'm still interested to see how well these towers will do. It looks like they're taking out these ships, but you're definitely right, Canadian Ninja, I think, in a good spot. Snippy's using a cool strategy, but is not going to be that effective.
Check out Gray's army fighting against those galleons.
Whoa.
He's just sat there. What is that? That shouldn't happen.
He does have a couple docks now. We were assuming people go for water control, but Gray is breaking the meta here. And
and demolition ships coming through too.
Oh, wow. No heavy demo, which is really unfortunate, but I like the use of the demo ships regardless.
Nice. Yeah, he got a lot of damage done there, actually, but
yeah,
the problem is no land army is going to just stand up to these galleons here, and he's just going to lose his whole army, and it feels a bit wasteful, to be honest. It just hasn't achieved nearly enough, and it doesn't give him any sort of progress towards the objective in the center of the map either.
Yes.
Well, it looks like the players that are going to go after the objective are Snippy. So Snippy's on his way.
In the south, Blue Coffee.
Oh my gosh.
That's gonna be huge. No, come on. There's fast fires out there as well. He's surrounding them. Wow.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's insane.
That's amazing.
I can't believe that. Blue Coffee is a legend of community games. I don't care what anybody says. You know, he doesn't need to do anything more in his Age of Empires career. That was beautiful.
So bad for Purple here. Like, come on, man. Its entire eco gets gutted for no reason by Orange, and then suddenly his massive navy just gets obliterated by Demo. That was amazing. It was so good.
And that means Orange is going to have to think about making more fires, because naturally the demos are supposed to counter fire ships, and it'll do a pretty good job if there's that many demo ships. And I love how Blue is just being a menace. Like, he doesn't even want to win. He just wants to kill everybody else. He's not making any other ship. He's just making demos for the viewers.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes for some entertaining viewership, that's for sure. But I think that Canadian Ninja stands at a very good position right now. He's just cleaned out most of the towers from Snippy on the south side. He's got the Paladins going in, and, you know, they're not going to be amazing, but they're certainly going to work as quite expensive tanks, I guess. Problem is, he's not really following it up with any Navy.
And the other problem is Blue
demos
Coffee.
again.
Blue Coffee's on
my
the way.
God.
These
You
Paladins are
sandwich.
not going to last long, and he says 11-14. Oh, that's beautiful.
It's a Paladin sandwich right there. Tasty. Well, we know what Blue Coffee likes for breakfast.
Exactly.
A coffee and 40 Paladins on the side. Very nice. He's actually going to take the score lead in the game as
Oh.
well. Do you remember back to the early stage of the game? He actually had the lowest score.
Yeah. It's all calculated, man. This guy knows what he's doing, and he has pushed Snippy away. It was at 60
Amazing.
years, and he's just blown Snippy away from the middle. I want to point out Canadian Ninja was rated heavily by Green. I don't know exactly what happened,
Oh.
but Canadian Ninja
Yeah.
was not expecting it. He does not have a lot of population, only at 88
Wow.
pop after losing his Paladins and his economy. So that's
His
a big
eco
deal.
is gone.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. Wow. That's gotta hurt. But there's no real signs of that raiding. Like, there's no
Yeah.
green military on the... You know what I mean? It's like, did he maybe send woads in and they all died?
I
But
saw skirmishers. He has elite
Oh,
skirm, but the
okay.
funny thing about that is they have no upgrades. So like no upgrades, like none.
so
So,
strange.
yeah,
That's
it's very
so
strange
super weird
indeed.
because, I mean, Green's got a lot of boats, so you think he's gonna at least do fletching at some point today.
Yeah.
But in no rush, it would seem.
Blue Coffee says, "Demo here, I'll leave." He's saying, "Hey, get away from me, because I'll blow you up."
Yeah, this is my swamp. Get out of my swamp.
You can just tell this guy enjoys the community games because he's so vocal in the chat. I love it. And
Yeah.
Green did not go away either.
Man, I don't know how he finds time to type in the chat. Like, when I'm
Yeah, I
playing,
know.
it's 200% focus. I can't type and play at the same time, otherwise my entire economy just dies, or something like along those lines. Oh, up in the north, Teal, as the Spanish here, lots of elite cannon galleons. That's what I want to see from the Spanish player. Nice combination with the galleons, of course, and he's actually looking like he's in a strong position to make a play towards the middle fairly soon. We've got
He has
73
88
years left,
ships.
and yeah, could do it.
88 ships. Probably 20, 30 of those are cannon galleons and Spanish elite cannon galleons as well. That's incredible. Definitely the strongest player right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we've got Blue Coffee as well. Now he's in the sandwich.
He doesn't
Just
want to
sending
attack.
those demos in.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
think he's
amazing.
forced to
Kills
now.
so much.
Yeah, he didn't want to attack, but now, you know, Green's there with demos with
Yeah.
Trebs. Green still has no attack upgrades on his ships, which is baffling.
I know, I don't get that. It makes no sense. And well, blue
Gaffle
player
spoon,
here.
baffle spoon.
Exactly. A blue player actually has got quite a big eco. He's got some Huskars coming over as well. I guess he can try and snipe the Treb here, and they can also tank a little bit too. But right now, I mean, with that attack coming in from Green, he's going to have no easy way to get a big enough army to contest the center. And Teal has made his move now. He's parked his ships in the middle of the map. Tri-Ram has, as you said before, like 80-something. He's got 94 galleons now. And I mean, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. It's going to be difficult to move him off the middle of the map right here.
Yeah, I think there's two players that can actually contest this at the moment. Green's still dealing with blue, so that's not going to happen. I'm thinking orange will play a big part. He does have some elite eagles and SOs, actually, close by that monument. He might try and help out with whatever he can. And then Snippy, who seems to be cleaning up Canadian Ninja. He's going to need to get to the middle. And I think on a water map, they need to think about doing it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
It
It takes a lot longer to kill
though.
the enemy galleons just because they have a much higher health pool than your average units. So I think you've got to go pretty quickly. And with 76 years left and nearly 100 boats on the middle of the map, that's pretty huge. If you're in Teal's position now, I think what you should do is go all in. Just delete all your villagers. Get 200 boats. Why not? With so little time left, I mean, if you're going to win the game, win it right now. Delete your vills and just spam it. Could be worth a shot.
Even if he doesn't send anything else to the middle, he's still going to have a big shot at this. 70 years, lots of fire ships for orange. Demos for blue are being wasted. Snippy is still attacking yellow, so those two not helping the cause at the moment.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Snippy's actually got quite a lot of boats, but he's not sending them out yet. And, the time does run away very quickly. Anyway, we've got Orange making a move towards the center here. Fast fires, definitely a good shout against the Galleons. And he might be able to break through.
Well, you can see one capped ram making its way in for Teal. That's exactly what he needs here. These fast fires, just like I said early on, they're so strong because the player in the middle cannot run away. Still 56 years remaining. Still, we could see some help from the other players. Will Teal be able to hold it? I think he will for the next 10, 20 years at least.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I mean, those fires didn't do that much, actually. I think he's got quite a lot of Galleons mixed in. Oh, no, he's not, actually. The Galleons are behind, so never mind that. These fires, they are starting to fall, and I'm questioning whether or not that's enough. It doesn't look like it's going to be anywhere near enough right now. Meanwhile, Canadian Ninja's going back in with the Rams and the Paladins. That's not going to achieve anything. And now we've got Snippy making a move. That's what I want to see.
I was going to say, if anything, the Paladins are maybe there for the Rams, if he's thinking about it. That would be some really good thinking if he's actually going for the Rams. It looks like he's just attacking ships right now. Snippy is moving in. That's a large navy, but still 40 years now for Teal. And he's doing everything right.
Even Blue is making an appearance, sending the Elite Huskars in.
Teal could slip up. He doesn't have many units left in the middle.
Well, he's got to keep the units in the middle, otherwise he loses the monument, and then it resets to 100 years. So even if he takes it back, the counter resets here. He's got to throw everything at the wall right now, and I think Snippy has the bigger, massive boats. I think Snippy's going to push through and maybe even take it, but the time is ticking away.
Yeah, and there's that one siege ram for Trireme as well. Another one following. The siege rams were such a huge move. Now, Siege Onager's coming in from Orange, just trying to help out from the land in any way he can. And
this is going to be close.
This is going to be, yeah, very, very close.
Okay, my big concern for Teal is that a lot of his reinforcing boats were actually killed by Red because he wasn't fighting with them. They were just going to try and get to the gather point. But here we go. It's going to get intense now. Blue Coffee with the Halbs coming in, and Snippy's making his move. Teal, I think Teal could crumble, but I mean, 18 years, it's so close.
There's that one ram in there, 46 HP. Will that one ram save Teal?
No.
His ships are going to disintegrate now. Oh, it's gone down. Yep. And Teal needs to think about, do I run? Do I fire? I mean, running doesn't really do anything for you here.
He has to stay, but he's got so little health on these boats. They are going to die. This is going to be so clutch, but they're gone. They're gone. And it's going to be either blue or red. Who does the monument go to now? It's blue. With his Halbs. Wow.
With his Halbs.
There you go.
Yes.
I think there was 3 years left in the end. That was close.
Yeah, I didn't happen to look. It was a very close one, and now players need to think about a game plan. The Halberdiers can be spammed by Goths if you're Blue Coffee, but you probably want to go with some water control. Lots of fires now for Orange, and Gray even going with the fire ships. He helped out in that engagement. Villagers seem to be running forward for Trireme, maybe. Oh, look at Gray's castle. Okay, Gray has a castle next to the water. You see all the dead bodies?
Oh, wow. That's painful.
He went for it with his vills, and he's still sending them. So his villagers are going to die, and they didn't have supremacy. That's hilarious.
These 4 villagers with their piles of wood. Not going to get anything done, unfortunately. And, well, now we've gone back to 100 years, and it's still all to play for. Orange is looking good with the fires, to be honest, but I don't know if that's going to be enough on its own, because the fires aren't able to deal with things like onagers and again, the same problem exists with the fires in reverse, where if you have to put your fires on the monument, well, the galleons can outrange you and just kill you because you've got to stay on the monument.
Yeah. Another thing I want to point out about Orange is all the access to gold he has, though. So he did free himself up some space on the mainland of Purple. There's extra golds there. All the gold in his base, well, he's actually chopping to that extra gold with Siege Onager right now. So he will have the most resources collected as far as gold goes at the end of this game. He's currently at 22k, and that's 6k above anybody else in this game. So that might help him out, even though he doesn't have access to galleons.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now that I want to see something more from Green here. I'm still confused why he's been fighting yellow and blue for so long. Well, I don't think I've seen a single green galleon in the center of the map yet. And you know, the Celts certainly can contest, but still, I mean, he just seems so focused on the land here, and I don't know if that's going to win him the game per se.
Yeah, I think he's slightly cut off by blue's demos, and now yellow has docks on the left side of his land, so maybe he feels as though it's a wasted attack if he goes to the middle. But players do need to start thinking about that soon, because we're at 75 years and Orange is not interested in giving this up.
Well, Orange needs to get more boats out here, that's for sure. I think if he does keep massing them, he should be fine. The problem is he doesn't actually have much gold, and all of those extra gold piles we spoke about, well, they are nearly all gone. He's actually chopped his way through to the gold at the back using a Siege Onager, which was a nice little move. But there's really very little gold left for him. I'm wondering, you know, maybe it's even worth selling his 1,300 stone here in favor of getting more boats out on the map, because I don't think that building castles out here is... Well, actually saying that, he could build a couple of castles now that the trees have been cleared away.
Yeah. I wouldn't have expected he would go for the Siege Onager upgrade, but it's helped him out in gaining some extra gold and gaining the space to build castles. Ah, wow. It was such a good idea, though.
I mean, literally, as I say, maybe you could sell his stone. It's all gone. But that gives him an extra 800 gold to play with, and that's a lot of extra fires which he can now make and position in the center of the map. And nobody else really seems in a position to contest maybe here. I mean, Snippy's army on the water is just gone. He's actually made longbows. He's busy attacking yellow on land. And then Grey has a few fast fires of his own. But as I said before, with the onagers here, I think that Juvenile actually is in a better position to defend this. And I'm thinking that it's going to be his game right now, because nobody else seems bothered about the middle all of a sudden.
Yeah, they're all kind of forced to fight one another. The Snippy I'm just now seeing the longbows, has those longbows in the perfect spot. And
whoa, nice.
This is not the first time Canadian Ninja has been attacked this game, and he is one player who's been trying to go to the middle. Snippy's given up on it, it seems. Maybe Grey and Orange are the only two who will contest, but look at all the rams for Orange. He's been transporting them.
Yeah, problem is rams aren't going to be as great versus the fires here, and Orange just doesn't have that much navy still. I mean, he just hasn't mastered up. In fact, his navy is crumbling pretty quickly here. I expected the Siege Onagers to be able to achieve some more, but I think it's going to be Grey who will actually take the center now, in fact.
Yeah, I think it's all down to the Rams. If the Rams weren't here... yeah, it's so hard to call these games, Zach. There's not a lot of fires coming up from Orange and reinforcements, so I think you're right. I think Grey could take it, but still, we're below 30 years now. You never know. You have to kill every single unit.
Oh, and there's a lot of rams still, actually, but, I mean, they do die pretty quick to the fires here, so... I think Grey is going to take this, to be honest. We'll have to see. It's going to be pretty close, once again.
Well, Green could help out. He still hasn't made it to the middle
just
yet.
saying.
So, yeah, so Green could be there, and that would change things. But currently, still more Rams being transported.
Oh.
It might not be convincing, but I think Orange could pull it off.
He might. It's super close. Grey isn't actually fighting with his whole army for, well, he hasn't been for a while. 15 years, but I'm almost certain Grey will take this here. I don't see how Orange is going to keep enough in the middle to contest it. But I don't know
Alright.
if there's more fires coming over. He's just got to keep 1 unit there. That's all it takes.
Yeah, he has 1 ram on full HP. Well, sorry, 2 on full HP in there. 1 is almost down. Income, more fires for Orange. Gray can't seem to access this one
gosh.
ram. Okay, now it's being focused down. This is so
Has
close.
he got it? Has he got it? And he's got it. I knew it.
Oh, man.
It was a close one. Ah,
Yeah.
man. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's like, who is good? Oh, hey, would you check out Teal on the water?
Oh, he's trading. Oh, that's so worth
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, look
Well,
at Blue.
I mean, how much is he getting? He's getting 25 gold per trip, I think. No, he's getting 2 gold per trip. But
Yeah,
it says
yeah.
25. That's super
Yeah,
weird.
so 2
was
gold
gonna say,
per trip,
surely
and it's going
not,
to take
but-
a while to pay off. But look at Blue Coffee pushing into the middle. Now, this is unique. Is the demos and the rams, and there's probably halberdiers inside, and those halberdiers will do quite well against the fast fire ships, because that makes sense. Poking holes in boats.
Yeah, with their long pointy sticks. But Snippy, with the longbows at the back, are just
Yeah.
picking off these halbs, man. That's going to be hurting as Blue Coffee makes his move. He actually will take the monument here, I believe.
Yeah,
as
he
the Grey
should take
backs
it.
away.
I guess the question with Blue Coffee this entire game has been, can he hold it? Because he's only going with demos and halberdiers, and demos, they don't hold. They just clear up some space.
Well, it also doesn't help that Green is committing so much to fighting him at his own base.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just feel like that is really distracting his attention from the middle, yet he's still able to somehow claim it. I mean, that shouldn't be able to happen, surely.
Well, credit to Blue for going for the middle even though he's being attacked to try and help out. I really like that. He's able
Oh,
to
yeah.
focus on both areas.
Well, I think Blue is very objective focused, and I think that's a credit to him, even if it means that he will just delay the game out and have no real way to hold the middle. But right now, I mean, again, no one seems too interested in contesting. Everyone's just working on building up their own army and waiting until the clock is a bit lower before making that play towards the center once again.
Well, I think at this point, players are probably struggling for resources. And if you
That's
did
true.
lose your docks earlier on, if you did lose your path to the middle, you're probably thinking about doing something else. And Green, in this case, overextending in my opinion, but other players might not be able to make it to the middle. Orange is massing, so he'll be able to make it. Gray is massing as well. And Blue is just spamming halberdiers into the middle. This is hilarious.
That's a lot of halbs as well, and actually, this is a really good point. Since he's the Goths, they create so quickly. He's got enough. Has he got enough resources in the bank to just spam halbs until the end of the game? 70
Well,
years from now.
He just
Let's
needs to
see.
keep 1 unit in there. Blue Coffee doesn't know he can't send resources, but he says, Green, I'll send you gold. Stop. So, I'm
might
interested to
work.
see what these halbs will do here, because Orange is going to be attacking halberdiers with fire ships, and the halbs, there's a lot of them. Might be able to kill a lot
yeah.
of these fire ships.
Well, I think Snippy here is just kind of sitting there, just loving life right now. These longbows just killing halberdier after halberdier after halberdier. But Blue Coffee's just continually spamming them in. He actually does have a reasonable shot, but I don't know, man. I think if Gray comes in from the top, if Orange comes around as well, I really question whether he'll hold it, even with
Yeah.
the spam.
It would have to be impressive. Even without Snippy there, it would be impressive to be able to win with just halberdiers when everyone's going for water. Now we have the Eagles there from Orange. Blue's not happy about it. I think Orange will be able to take this back. And I don't know what Snippy is planning, but this is an interesting element to this, because he can reach the entire right side of the monument. So he's just stopping everybody else from getting it. Maybe buying
Well,
himself
I mean,
some time. who
Snippy's
knows?
longbows could actually do quite well here, even against the fires. You know,
Yeah.
given enough time, the chip damage at that range as well. I mean, they do, 11 damage. The fire has 9 armor, so it's going to take 60 arrows to kill a fire ship. But how many longbows does he have here? You know, he's not far off from being able to basically two-shot fires.
And he might be
Could
saving
actually-
blue.
Maybe. I don't think this is.
Blue, look at the amount of halves and now villagers and capped rams Blue has. If Blue can get the rams to the middle and these vills, he can. There's a slight chance, Zach, but maybe he can do it. I don't know. I'm hoping more than anything.
There's always a chance, but I think Gray's going to retake this right now.
Yeah.
Although saying that, Blue Coffee's coming in with another batch of reinforcements, but I just think 30 years is too long, to be honest. We've got demos coming in from Gray as well, just to do a little bit of extra damage in there. Lovely to see. But yeah, I think this is going to go to Teal once again. Although saying that, Blue Coffee's coming in with some heavy demos as well now.
Yeah.
And you know what? He
This
actually
guy.
amazingly has a chance. I can't
He has
believe
nothing
this.
back at home. He sent most of his villagers out. He's still spamming
Oh my God.
halberdiers. This is unbelievable. Playing the objective,
Oh.
just like you said earlier. I love it.
If this game ends with Blue getting this victory, it is so totally deserved. 20 years to go, and somehow he's still maintained a presence here in the middle of the map. I just cannot believe that.
That ram is so important for him, and Orange is going to focus that down. So
Oh
that
my
might be
God.
the game changer. And now Orange is cutting off his reinforcements as well. This is all he has left in the middle.
15 years, a demolition ship. All of the fires from Gray are now gone.
Yeah.
13. I think he's going to do it. I actually think he's going to do it right now. There's another batch of reinforcements coming through. There's one demolition ship which can be used to blow up the rest of these fires. And there's 10 years left. He might actually just go down in the history books as that
yeah.
legend who won King of the Hill with halbs only on a water map.
Yeah, I mean, I named that YouTube video with Regicide Rumble, even though he didn't win, The Legend of Blue Coffee, because he played
Holy
the
shit.
objective, and it was hilarious.
He's
And
won it.
Now
He's
we're
done
at
it.
5 years, and I am
3,
probably a little bit behind you,
2,
but I think we all know what's going to happen
One.
here. He
Surely
has
he's got
won
this.
the game.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
Unbelievable.
Wallolo GG. Oh wow.
That's incredible play right there, Zach. I mean, he's being killed at home. There's castles there. There's trebuchets. He has nothing left. And who would think to send all of their villagers there? Nobody would think that's a good idea. But Blue Coffee, wow, what a play, man.
What? Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that actually happened. With longbows on the banks, with mass boats, and yet he just managed to outspam them all. I think Goths have just dethroned the Turks as the best civ in the game.
Oh man, there's gonna be a lot of upset people about that. Don't say that. He's at 70 population, so he really went all in there. And like I said, it really takes some balls to think that's gonna work. And he went for it. And the one thing I noticed is his halberdiers are bunched up, so he didn't want to take them to the other side of the monument because Orange had the onagers there. So he did a lot of smart things there, getting the rams, getting the villagers. That was incredible play.
Absolutely. You know, I think if Teal had done a similar thing, and, you know, as we said, deleted all of his vills and just sat
Yeah.
on the monument with everything, I think maybe he actually could have taken it as well. But, I mean, Blue Coffee winning with style, to say the least. That was really enjoyable. Well played by him and well deserved as well. What a legend.
Yeah, look at the achievements now. Snippy had all these kills we didn't witness. 582 units killed, 217 lost. That's a great KD, but he couldn't get to the middle. He was too busy killing Canadian Ninja. And then,
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like
wow.
Green kind of threw any chance he actually had of winning the game, because I don't think he even I don't think he cared about winning the game.
yeah,
He just seems to be very focused on killing his neighbors and ruining their chances. But little did he know, the player that he was trying to destroy ended up taking it anyway. So there you go. Blue Coffee,
Yeah.
my man.
Blue Coffee's in my chat, and all he said so far was 11. Just job done.
Yeah.
Job done.
I mean, that's going to be the smuggest 11 you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Deserves it.
Yeah, that was an incredible game, and though that wasn't very different from any Mega Random map I've seen, since it was a different map pack, It was still an enjoyable game. Sometimes the water maps can be kind of lame. They have that potential.
Yeah.
But that was really good for King of the Hill.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. Couldn't agree more. I think it's because it's not, the majority of the map is still land. The rivers aren't. The rivers are obviously really important, and boats are really important. But the fact that there is so much land on this map, even still, I think that is part of the reason why, and also the shallows as well, allowing players to actually access other areas of the map without needing full water control.
Yeah, well,
Very nice.
that guy impresses me every time, every single time. In the Regicide game, he was behind. Like, he didn't have any allies actually in that game, but he was Byzantines in the top corner of the map, and he sent like rams and cataphracts to the bottom corner of the map. He was trying to go for a snipe, but it was completely obvious to everybody. He's walking through economies, and someone signaled and says, like, "What's this?" And they're like ready to kill him, massing an army, and he says, "Just passing." So that's been the joke ever since. Just passing. It was so funny.
So a couple of things to highlight in the achievements. I've just been having a quick look as well. Snippy with the KD, obviously those longbows doing work, and Blue Coffee as well, losing nearly, well, over double, I guess, anyone else's military apart from I guess Orange. He lost so many units by a landslide, but at the end of the day, it didn't matter because he won. And that's pretty awesome as well.
He knew he needed to get units to the middle, and doesn't matter how many units you lose or you kill, you just gotta get there. And that was, it's so impressive. I still don't understand how that's possible.
Crazy. Another thing to note as well is that we had a little bit of relic gold from some players. 4 players managed to capture 1 relic, but I wanted to see, my chat was interested in the trade profit from Teal, since he was trading with those docks, and it's pretty pathetic, to be honest.
What was the number? I didn't look at that part of the achievement.
1,275 trade profit.
Yeah, he had a lot of trade cards.
And he had a lot of cogs. And also, Juvenal, we were talking about all the extra gold that he had. He gathered 32,000 gold. Second after him was 19,000. So he had a whole 13k additional gold on everyone.
Yeah, it's like a whole nother base right there.